it's Genius Thoughts, and welcome to my show. I'm your eyes, ears, and voice of real estate, business, and the community. And once again, I've got a couple of great celebrities today. Okay, I met these two people at an MLS meeting, which is the Multiple Listing Systems meeting in Santa Clarita. Let me tell you, great enthusiasm, great energy. I mean, with most of our members, if not almost all of our members with the exclusive academy, they've all been voted in by other people. But these two, I went after, I hunted them down. I said, I love your energy. I love your enthusiasm. I love what you bring to the table. I want you to be part of my group. And you know what? They happily accepted my invitation. So let me introduce Carlos and Fabiola. Thank you guys for being on my program today.
Well, thank you for having us, Gene.
Uh,
Yeah, it's our
I
Yeah,
pleasure.
yeah.
I absolutely love it. I've got lots of questions that I want to ask you because some of my viewers don't know the greatness of what the Alfaro team brings to the table, but today's my day to do just that. So let's
Let's do
talk
it.
about you. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your family? I'll start with you, Fabiola.
Well, I've been married for 30 years. I
I hear
have,
he's a really good-looking guy.
he
Gotta
is,
meet
he is. He's easy on the eyes.
him.
I have three wonderful kids with them, and they're all adults, wonderful adult human beings. Couldn't ask for better kids. Um, and we just they're just finishing up their college degrees. My oldest daughter just graduated, got her degree in child development, and
And
I have
her lovely name is?
her name is Amanda.
Hello, Amanda. Go ahead.
And then my other daughter, Christina, she's also just finishing up her master's in early child education.
Hello,
And
Amanda, and congratulations.
Brandon, he's my youngest. He's just starting out in his college career, and he's going for civil engineering.
Wow.
He's
Well,
studying.
so your family is not very bright, I'm hearing.
Not at all.
I, you
They're
know,
the brightest. I love them.
I'm going to tell you, I think you guys did a great job.
Thank
So,
you.
Carlos, do you like having a little boy in the family? Were you worried when you had the three girls?
Wouldn't say I was worried, but I definitely, it was the last one. If it was a girl, we were done. The factory would shut down after that.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
so
so we had
funny.
the boy, and it's different. They all played sports, but it's a different, it's different with the boy. We got into collecting baseball cards and going to Dodger games, collecting bobbleheads and stuff like that. So it is a little different. But like I said, they all play sports. They're all
Okay,
doing well.
Carlos, tell me about the sports they play.
So my oldest daughter started with soccer, softball, then soccer. Then her younger sister, she wanted to be like her older sister, started playing softball as well, and did soccer. And then my youngest did basketball, soccer, baseball. I got him into golfing, and yeah, I got him into everything. So yeah, the sports were great. I coached them, a lot of their teams. I coached and had a great time coaching, and those were the good days, the golden
Okay.
days.
This is why I like this show so much because you guys are such great people. You've got great family already. They're smart kids. They got wonderful parents. And I absolutely love doing this podcast because I think people need to know more about you because I think you guys are just such fantastic people. But tell me something. Maybe there's something out there that our viewers don't know about the two of you that you might want to share. Carlos,
Well,
anything you want to?
oh,
Oh, wait. Oh, go ahead,
no, no,
Fabio.
no, go ahead.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay.
It's Mother's
So,
Day.
well, thank you. Um, I love creative stuff, so I enjoy refurbishing furniture. I'll take an old piece and make it new again, give it a new life. So I enjoy that. It's relaxing to me. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
So, what got you into that in the first place?
Um, I would see people throwing away things on the side of the road, and I thought that's a nice piece,
Right? What are they
it could
thinking?
look nice. Yeah. So I'd pick it up and go and refurbish it and make it nice again and paint it, and people liked it.
That's
And I
awesome.
learned that there's a lot of that going on. So it's very relaxing to me.
Oh, good for you. You know, everybody needs to relax and do what they
Yes,
enjoy to do, right?
yes.
Carlos, what about you?
Um, besides being an avid baseball fan, I started, like I mentioned earlier, I got into collecting baseball memorabilia. And so I have like over 500 bobbleheads and like 10,000 baseball cards and 100 plus signed baseballs and just random stuff that I've collected during the time, during the years. So that's been kind of my hobby. And, it kind of when I want to get away from everything else, I can kind of go do that. And it's like
Right?
being a kid again. So it's
Right?
kind of nice. I mean, as a matter of fact, this weekend we went to Arizona. We went to some antique stores out there and found some like old 1975 baseball cards. So, pick some up. So it's
That
fun.
is that is so cool. And you know what? You lived in California for a long time, right?
Yes,
And what
yes.
I love
We've been
about
here.
California, getting bobbleheads, if there's an earthquake, they'll just bobble. They'll never
Exactly,
break.
exactly. Yeah,
You know, you just look
you,
at
you
them,
got that
and
right.
it could be like an earthquake kind of bobblehead, kind of a protection thing going, "Hey,
Exactly.
they're bobbling. Something's going on that we need to know about. It could
Yep.
be your good security system, you know?
Yes.
So you guys are smart people. You got wonderful children. You guys are very well equipped in real estate. But what got you into real estate in the first place,
Uh,
Fabiola?
Well, when we bought our first home, um, we had we went with a real estate agent who she wasn't really helpful. We wasn't really finding us what we needed, and then we took a break. Then found a new real estate agent. She was a family friend, and well, she worked with the family, and
Right?
she was great. She helped us open our eyes to a little bit more and provide us with all the information I needed, to make that decision. And we found our first home, and it was wonderful in the place that we didn't expect to buy, And so I thought how she helped us guide us through that process. Um, it wasn't a, it, I wasn't headed that direction. I had other ideas of where I wanted to go as far as my career. I had worked in the medical field for a long time, but I love working with people. I love helping people, and real estate is that. It's just that, you're helping them reach their goals of home ownership and guiding them through that process. And sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's easy, but everybody's different.
See, but the thing I love about the two of you is that you hold your client's hand, so it is stressful. You really take a lot of the stress off their plate. Would you guys agree with that statement?
Definitely.
Carlos, anything you want to add with that?
Yeah, get into the business. I mean, like anybody else, you got to make money to survive. So, obviously we know that real estate can be lucrative, but also on the other hand, it's a tough industry. It's not like, I know people think, oh yeah, real estate, I'm going to get into it, I'll make millions. Well, it's not that simple. It's tough. The story that Fabiola was sharing, yeah, that I totally forgot about that. The lady's name was Lee. She's since passed away, but she was, when you compare that agent to the first one we had experienced, it was night and day. She was more of like, hey, look, you guys are looking for something. She had some listings. She's like, hey, um, kind of guided you towards like areas that you didn't even consider. And it was great. And she did a great job. And that's how we got our first house when we were in our late 20s. So and that's kind of the agent that we would strive to be more like her. I'm glad she brought it up. I totally forgot about her.
That's
She's a
awesome.
great person.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you guys didn't talk ahead of time about the program. I'm glad that you guys are upfront and natural with this. So you guys are talking to a lot of real estate people, and I know you're also talking to newer agents. Any advice you want to give real estate agents that are just joining the business on what they should be doing? And let me ask and start with you, Carlos, if you don't mind answering that question.
No, not at all. You know what? Like I just mentioned, real estate, unfortunately, is not just easy. It's not, there's work you got to put in. And I would say that find a niche, a strategy, and stick to it and see it all the way through. And I think that would be my best advice. Don't switch, if like, for example, you have a farm, stick to your farm and let that whole farm know who you are. Let the people around you know that you sell real estate and let the people around them know you sell real estate. So that way you can, start nurturing leads and, create a CRM is very important. That's what I would what I would say to a newer agent.
You know what? It's so funny. I just read something from John Maxwell, and his advice was stick to your strengths. Stick to your strengths. And I think that is
Definitely.
perfect advice you're giving them. Fabiola, same question.
So, I would say treat your real estate business like a business. You're your employer, you're your own employer. Have a business plan, have a goal, of which direction you want your business to go, and learn everything and implement it. Just take action. You learn something, take action, do it. If it didn't work the first time, review it, see what didn't work, and then try it again. And eventually you'll find what works for you guys, what works for your business. But have a business plan, because if you're just all over the place, you're it'll become overwhelming. But if you
Exactly.
have, yeah, if you have like a standard operate, like a regular business, a standard operating business procedures, then
Right?
it'll work for you. You'll feel more relaxed.
Exactly. Exactly. So you guys been in the business 4 years. You've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome of real estate all together.
Right.
Any thoughts you want to share with the people out there about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome from your point of view? Fabiola, can I start with you with that question?
Well, the good would be meeting so many great people. You're going to come across all kinds of people, with from your clients, from real estate agents. That's the fun part, just learning from your clients and the real estate agents. You're gonna see different personalities and learn how to uh, deal with them and help them and guide them. I would say the bad is, in a competitive market, if you have a client that's kind of losing, that momentum of buying something, you got to kind of keep encouraging them, because, we sometimes you'll have a situation where you're submitting offers and they're not getting accepted, but you got to keep, you're going to find that house for them, and show and just pepping them up and letting them know that it's going to happen. This wasn't the one, and just let them know that you understand what they're looking for, and we're going to find that for them. I say the ugly is sometimes you're going to come across people that you're not going to always see eye to eye, and that's going to be difficult, and learning how
Right?
to deal with that situation as well. And the awesome was is when you get that clear to close and you have the keys to hand them, and that's just the most amazing part of it. Giving that person um, their new home and welcoming them to their new home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Carlos, you got the floor.
Well, the good, I would say, obviously nice paychecks, when that happens, that's a good. The bad could be, in the beginning, you could have months where you're dry. So you need to, spread that money, make it last. The good is easy clients that make your life, just good people that you truly want to help find a house. And then when you do, it's such a great feeling. That's the good part. The bad part would be, like I just mentioned about, months where you're not making money, at the beginning. Secondly, just clients that you wouldn't want to work with them ever again. It's just things didn't go smoothly. I mean, even though you got to the close of the transaction, it's just people you wouldn't want to work with again. And the ugly is that, you don't have a deal until it's signed, until it closes. Sometimes, you kind of anticipate, okay, I think I got this buyer, he's going to buy for sure. He's going to submit an offer or whatever, or a seller, oh, they're going to sell with me. And they don't. And that's just the ugly truth of real estate. There's a lot of competition. And so you got to show your value. So people, clients can see that and choose you over other realtors.
Right, because no two real estate agents really are created equally. I mean, You know, there's a whole different personality out there that the two of you share, and you complement each other so very well in what you do. But what do you guys think you're going to be doing differently in 2025 besides joining the exclusive academy, of course? Anybody
Well,
like to
I would
start?
say differently this year. Like I said, we entered our fourth year. We've definitely, like I said, if you're going to get into this industry, the first couple of years is the best time to get those people in your pipeline, get those people in your CRM, get to know people, door knock, do the basic, door knock, host open houses. And so I think we did a lot of that stuff the first 3 years that now we're seeing the fruits of our labor and we're seeing, the pipeline, things are finally coming out of the pipeline. So I'd say the biggest difference for us or for us would be, following up with people, not so much not getting a no, but following up with people until that, if they're not interested, then yeah, that's fine. You let them go and say, okay, well, maybe in a year you call them back. But the whole key I would say for us is following up on people, uh, you know, keep doing the little things, like hosting open houses, if you don't have any of your own, find one. Uh, you know, stay in touch with your farm, really important. And of course, the sphere of influence. Make sure that you're touching, those people and that you're touching the people that they know.
Perfect. And you know, Fabiola, a lot of real estate agents use this term, and some of my viewers don't know what it means, a CRM. Can you kind of define what that's all about? Because I know your clients really kind of enjoy you keeping in touch with them.
Okay. Well, your CRM is your database. That's where you're going to keep all your clients in to make sure that you're, like you said, keeping in touch with them, sending them reminders that you're still a real estate agent. If they're in the market, you're here to help them. If they're looking to invest or they sell their home, um, you want to put all their as much information as you can celebrate their anniversaries from when they bought their homes, their birth dates, send them their birthday cards for holidays. So that's where you're going to keep all your clients that you're or your sphere of
Right.
influence and your clients that you're building up for your
Well, you
for
know
your
what? And I
business.
think that's really a great attribute that you guys both bring to the table because people don't want to be forgotten, you know?
Mhm.
Once the deal closes, I mean, a lot of your clients, I guarantee, look at you as friends, not just real
Mhm.
estate agents or real estate professionals, but true friends that you truly care about them. And I think you
Mhm.
staying in touch with them, I think that's absolutely brilliant. I kudos to you for that. Carlos,
Yeah.
is there anything else you want to add on your strengths? And you can
I
say
mean,
no because I'm going to ask Fabiola the
yeah,
same question.
okay. Yeah, so my strength, I have an accounting background. Uh, and I think, when I talk to clients, and I know that the lender, that's their job, but, I'll give my clients, good estimates on like, uh, what they can expect as payments. I'll give them resources on where to look that up. So I think my strength is the accounting aspect of real estate. And, I'm a people person. I enjoy talking to people, hanging out, and I think I think that's probably my number one strength is just getting to know people, having people open up, getting information that, kind of like typically they don't share with other people, So that's always been my strength. I just really enjoy talking to people, finding that thing that the common interest that I have with them.
Right? So you're a real estate financial advisor, right? That's the way that
Correct.
I would look at it with the way that you approach your business, right? That
Yes,
is your strength.
100%. 100%. Yep.
You got it. Fabiola, anything you want to add?
Well, I took it upon myself to become familiar as with the contracts. So I can explain them to them if they ever have a question, that we can tell them this is what you're signing. A lot of people don't read those contracts. So I take it upon myself to make sure that I can be able to explain those little details that they may not see or read. But I'm also work on our marketing. Um, we work together with marketing ideas, but I'll implement them. Our social media and so on.
Well, That's funny. I do the same thing with my wife. We'll go out to dinner and I keep throwing these ideas at her. She goes, "You should write this one off as a business expense, Gene, because it's all about business right now." And I go, "Well, it is,
That's a
but
good
you
idea.
know what? There's nothing best, better than talking to your spouse, getting their thoughts on will it work, will it fly, will it not fly?" I
Right.
think you're hitting it right on the head with that one. All right, so my next question is, when I came to you and I said, let's get involved in networking, join my marketing networking group, you guys were all over it, which made me so happy. What's your thoughts on why do you believe that networking is so strong in today's real estate market? Anybody like to start?
Well, yeah, I'll start. Networking, especially with social media, is definitely top of the list when it comes to real estate. You want to get your name out there. Not only to lenders, lenders can help you with prospecting and leads. You want to create a good team of people around you, and vendors that can help you from, from changing flooring, from painting, from, title company, from staging. So networking is really important. And of course, meeting other agents, getting to know other agents. That's definitely a good way to kind of learn. Some of these agents have been around for like 20, 25 plus years, and kind of picking their brain, when you go to these networking events, it's great. It's great stuff. You don't have to all the time learn from your mistakes. You kind of learn from them. And so that's why networking, I believe, is it's just a strong tool to have as a realtor.
Yes, I agree. Fabiola?
Yeah, just piggybacking on what he said, I think there's so many great agents out there that they have good ideas and marketing and how they run their business. And so, I've always learned to, learn from them, replicate it. If it's working for them, then, you make it work for you, adjust it to your business style. But, obviously their process worked, so you can use it on your personal business as well. So, um, I think the networking is important. And like having the vendors, different vendors, because people like the lenders and um, title companies,
Escrow
escrow
title,
companies,
right?
all those people are part of your team. So you got to
Yes.
find those people that work well with you and are going to enhance your business. And
Right. I mean,
rather
there's first string, people. There's people that are your backups. There's always people in your Rolodex to work
right,
with because you kind of work with personality on which personality would work best with my client, correct?
exactly.
Well, when I met you and the three of us had that really nice chat at your office, you know, the reason why I was really pushing for you to get into our group, and once again, you had no thoughts about not being involved, was that after hearing your story and having our great conversation, the two of you are all about how dedicated you were to your business and how dedicated you were to your clients. If you couldn't hear it in their voices, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely they are. And then number three, your commitment to your community and to the consumer. I mean, these are the four things that we always look for in selecting our people into our group. If they don't have these four qualities, there's no way that they're going to be able to be part of the best, in my opinion, in this group. So I just wanted to say honors to the two of you for being who you are and what you do.
Thank
And
you.
Yeah,
you're beyond
yeah,
welcome.
Gene, thank you for that. Thank you for that. No, when we learned about your group and what you do, and just the amount of people that have joined, it was a no-brainer, and we said, well, we got to do it, and so it's been great. We enjoy it. We enjoy the burritos for lunch. It's great. But no, the people that you meet is obviously much better,
Yes.
and all the beautiful houses that we toured together. So it's just a great atmosphere, good people, and it's a it's I would definitely recommend, if anybody's thinking about it, definitely join.
Thank you. Food, folks, and fun. I'm totally with you guys on that one. But your success, I think there are people in your lives, whether it's business or family, that are really great mentors in your lives, like the two of you are with your three children. Who would you say you can go business first, you can go family first? Can you tell me who was kind of inspirational and are good mentors in your life? Who would like to start? Carlos?
Um, that's a tough question for me,
I know.
honestly. I would say if I had to choose someone that just kind of stands out to me, it would be my mom. She's always been a hard worker, and just the way she took care of the family, and yeah, like my mom would be my mentor, and you know everything. When I look at what my characteristics, it emulates a lot of what she did. Business wise, I mean, I've read a lot of books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Art of the Deal, and books like that. I would say, you know, when Fabiola brought up our first agent when we bought our first house, she was definitely a good business mentor. She even back then, this is like 2000, oh my gosh, 2002, and she asked me to get into real estate, and for whatever reason, I said, no, it's not for me. And I really didn't even know, but she was great. She always pushed us, and she goes, buy this house. You guys are, you're going to create equity. So she was great. Like I said, I didn't think about it until Fabiola had mentioned it, but I would say she was probably one of the best mentors when it comes to real estate that I've
Oh,
met.
awesome. Fabiola, how about you?
Yeah, so Lee, like I said, she was an inspiration as far as a real estate agent. She had her own business on the side, but she was dedicated to her clients. Um, so when we first started in real estate, our manager, I don't have like a business mentor personally, but
Right?
our manager there, he provided a lot of training, with contracts, with listing agreements, and he did role playing and so on. So that was helpful to us, growing our business and learning the business. Um, I do a lot of Tom Ferry. I watch a lot of his. I've been to a few of his seminars, and I've attended them in person and on Zoom. So I follow a lot of what he does, and his main thing is you learn everything, but you got to take action. You gotta take, because if you're learning all this information, reading books, and getting yourself in that mindset, but you're not doing anything, then you're not going to produce anything in the end. So that I would say he's somebody that I followed throughout my real estate career.
Yeah, I think he's very, very talented at what he does as well, in
Yes.
keeping people, motivated and positive. And
Hmm.
he has such a great outlook in life and business. So without
Definitely.
a doubt, we're almost out of time. Anything the two of you would like to share with our viewers today before we sign off? Carlos, let's start with you first again, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Just that, we're like anyone else, we decided to get into real estate. We literally quit our jobs and then jumped into real estate. We didn't do it part-time. We jumped into it. Uh, Obviously, like anybody else, expecting to do the best. It's definitely been a challenge at the beginning, the first couple of years, but it's definitely uh, it's a great outlook right now, and we feel very confident of the future, and you know we're here to help people, anybody who's out there looking to sell or buy, specifically in the San Fernando Valley. I've been a resident there for over 45 plus years, know the valley like the back of my hand. So yeah, real estate is great. It's a great business, helping people achieve home ownership. That's ultimate goal, honestly, besides making the money. It's nice to see when people are happy and you reach out to them and tell them, hey, did you have host Christmas or Thanksgiving? And they're like, yeah, everybody loved the house. That's probably the best feeling you can get when it comes to real estate.
Well, that's why you're a real estate financial advisor, right? Without
Exactly.
a doubt.
Without a
Fabulous
doubt.
same question.
So I would say, learn from the best, do and do replicate it. Um, sometimes we're our biggest critics. And so you're going to have successes, you're going to have failures, learn from those and make it better, make it, don't just focus on the negative, give yourself some grace and focus on the positive things that you did. And then just go from there, just keep going, keep pushing yourself to be that better version of yourself.
Oh,
So,
without a doubt.
yeah.
And, and listening to the two of you in our very first conversation, it's great to leave a job to do something that really shows off your strength. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
you guys getting into real estate was a brilliant, absolutely brilliant move because you knew exactly what you were going to bring to the table, with you in contracts and you in business knowledge, the two of you, in financial knowledge. I think it was just such a perfect fit for the two of you. I can understand why you made that pivot to do what you needed to do. And your clients are, they probably look at you as such a great blessing, which I think is absolutely phenomenal.
Mhm.
Guys, we're out of time. I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on my program today. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being so special. You've got wonderful kids, and cheers to them. You've got great
Thank you.
mentors, and cheers to them. You're doing a beautiful job in real estate, and I just want to say I am so glad that I'm part of your life and part of your family.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Gene.
you, Gene.
Yeah.
Love,
You're
thank you
welcome.
very much.
Guys, you have a wonderful day. I will see you soon. And I told you that these two people are fantastic individuals and wonderful people. The Alfaro team in real estate. Bye.
Bye, everyone.